I will say that our leaders and all of our volunteers, they went above and beyond this year with all of the projects.
Yeah.
We even did more than what the original project was. Example, I'm going to throw the graffiti team out there. So they were doing the side of the fence all along 185th between Aloha High School and the church. And they ran out of stuff because they finished everything. So they went and across the street and did the other side of the street.
Welcome to the Midweek Motivation Podcast, where we bring practical help for your faith and life. Here's today's episode.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Midweek Motivation. I'm Jess, and we are here on the tail of our annual Good Neighbor Project. And we've got Elizabeth here to have a conversation about Good Neighbor Project. And Elizabeth has been the coordinator of the project for the last 2 years. Elizabeth, I'd love if you would share a little bit about yourself and a little bit about how you got plugged into Good Neighbor Project.
Well, I'm a mom of 10. I got 14 grandbabies.
Woo!
I got 2 caregiving jobs and I'm super busy all the time. But, I got introduced to leading the Good Neighbor Project actually during my mission trip with Westside in Guatemala. It had been mentioned at one of our little devotionals that we were in need of a leader and God was calling me to do something. And I felt that this was it. So I jumped up and took a hold, and there you go.
Awesome. Had you jumped into Good Neighbor Project before that?
I did do volunteer work. I usually was at Aloha High School. I usually generally stay with the schools. And so I've done that probably, I'm going to say 5-6 years this time. And I've done it before in the past when we first started. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. What from your perspective is the heartbeat of Good Neighbor Project and why we do it every year?
I believe that we do it every year to make a difference, to see the change in not just our community, but the whole community surrounding just us. Mm-hmm. It brings a bunch of churches together and you see people change throughout this process from the beginning of, okay, we're just going to sign up. We're going to see what we're going to do. And then we'll see what happens. And then they're completely different people at the end of this. We've brought people closer to God just by serving. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Can you think of like a highlight or a special story that really stands out to you from this year's Good Neighbor Project?
There's a couple things. There was a couple of my leaders who were super unsure, never done this before. So they came to the meetings and they were a little shy. And they said, well, if you need me, I guess I'll try it. And they excelled and made a huge impact. And they led multiple people and just made a huge, huge difference. And not just themselves, but in the people that they were leading and their volunteers and stuff and the people that they were helping. You just watch them change and it's just amazing.
Awesome. I got to serve with one of the yard cleanup teams, and it was really cool to watch a fairly new leader step up, I think, and just really kill it. I was sharing that that this particular leader had like this ability to really encourage our team that was serving together and lift us up and rally us. It was so fun to serve with these people. And he had this really unique gift, I think it is, that leaders have, where they're able to like rally the troops and encourage everybody who's doing the serving and also direct the way that things needed to be directed and also get in there and get their hands dirty too.
Oh,
and so
100%.
it was so fun to serve with all of these people and to like watch the project get finished, like from the point that we got there, where there was a lot of work that needed to be done in this project, to the point where the work was finished because like 18 people jumped in and just pounded it out. And so it was really a blessing to be able to watch this leader step up and do that work. And then to be a part of all of that job like that. It was a big job. It was fun though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
I will say that our leaders and all of our volunteers, they went above and beyond this year with all of the projects. Yeah. We even did more than what the original project was. Example, I'm going to throw the graffiti team out there. So they were doing the side of the fence all along 185th between Aloha High School and the church. And they ran out of stuff because they finished everything. So they went and across the street and did the other side of the street. And so there was so much that got done, and they worked so hard, and everybody worked really well together, and just, God had a plan, and it all went really well.
That's so cool. I love it. I love hearing those kinds of stories of the impact that happens when we all just get together and hit it together. So fun. Okay, well, so did you hear any, like, from the neighbors or the schools? What kind of feedback in the community did you hear?
So I actually got a call today from Lad Acres Elementary School, and the staff and the teachers, the custodians are raving about how well we did and how awesome the school looks, and they're super excited. So now they are wanting pictures and stuff to post on the Hillsborough School District website of the volunteers out there with our Good Neighbor Project shirts on, and they just appreciate everything that we do for them, and we've worked with them for multiple years, and it's just amazing, when they show their appreciation. That is awesome. It makes me as a leader feel great knowing that we're doing something positive to help our community.
So that's really exciting. It's really exciting to see the community impact for sure. And I love that we get to see that whole leave it better thing that we live into at Westside.
Right.
When you hear stories of teams that are going above and beyond, and also to be able to jump in and partner with the schools. It really just brings to mind the fact that we get to invest in partnerships with our community and be the hands and feet of Jesus in that way, and open up doors to build relationships like we have with Aloha High School, where we get to jump in there and meet their needs and really, again, be the hands and feet of Jesus in that way.
Absolutely.
And so fun. It's exciting. All right. One of the things, as I was thinking back on Good Neighbor Projects past, is we've got this picture floating around of a guy in our church who's a parent. And I'm not sure if this was last year or if it was the year before, but it was the red shirt year. So it was the year before, I think.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
But we have this picture floating around of one of the dads in that year's Good Neighbor Project working alongside his young son. And they were like painting picnic tables together. Yeah. Did you catch any of that happening this year, where our parents are really investing in our kids and in teaching serving opportunities? Any stories like that popping out?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm actually going to bring up the farm. Okay. The farm that we had like multiple projects on the farm this year, and all these parents brought their young kids, and they're working together, and the younger ones that obviously can't use the tools and do different stuff, they had them with bags of waters, walking around, handing out snacks, and just, communicating with everybody. And it was just so awesome watching. And you see some of these little kids using rakes that are like 10 times their size, and just trying to do the same thing their parents are doing, and, scrubbing down and, dragging branches across the ground with their parents. And it was just, you don't get to see that stuff very often. Us as parents, we're so busy all the time, and trying to make time, all that extra time for our kids is not always easy. And so you see them as, whether you're single parent, two parents, but you guys as a family, as a whole, working together to make someone's life a little bit easier. Is just so awesome watching that.
Yeah. And making memories together too.
Absolutely.
Just with I've got my grandson 3 days a week, and I also work, and sometimes that's from home. And so like to have him, he will have his buddies come over and play and stuff, but to be able to like engage, he couldn't join this time, but to be able to see families engage together in an activity that's serving others and also memory building, because we have such a great time when we're in these teams and serving. It's so fun. That's awesome.
You ever have those deeper questions and you just really want to go to work on it, but you don't know where to go? Maybe you're wondering, how did we get the Bible? Or you're wondering, I wish I could figure out how to be more intentional in my prayer life, to really dig in. Or I want to know more about this or that, and I just don't know where to go. Well, we've got an option for you. It's called self-paced training. We've built a platform called Westside Plus, and we want you to take a look at it. It's a way to get deeper in your faith, to really grab those topics that are specifically designed to help you grow to another level in your faith and to go after it. And they're self-paced in the sense that you can take the course and you can stop and start and it'll remember where you're at and you can complete these things and you can go to the next level. And this is a way to keep growing in your faith. It's called Westside Plus. We want you to check it out at westsidecommunitychurch.com/Westside Plus, Plus, Westside Plus.
Okay, well, so to jump into, you commented a little bit about leaders and just the incredible teams that you had. Like, what have you noticed about people stepping into leadership when given a chance in your 2 seasons of Good Neighbor Project?
I've noticed, well, obviously last year was a little different because I was new to all this stuff. Yeah. And so I was a little intimidated last year about starting this and who to connect with and how to be positive and outgoing about certain things and, like being, oh, you can do it and being a cheerleader. So this year I really ran with it. So, because I had my feet in a little bit more and I noticed that the positivity and the encouragement and just being like, if you need help, let me know. And I'm like texting and we're doing all this stuff and communicating and everything. And I noticed that the more connections we have with our leaders, the more I'm here for you. What do you need? What can I get for you? I have these things. I'm going to deliver them, all this stuff. You as a leader need to show that these are the things that they can do as well. And so I noticed that the leaders, they were connecting with their volunteers, communicating and, oh, I don't need that. I already got my volunteers to get it. And so they did so good this year. It was awesome how well the communication was. Like some of them were brand new. There was 2 that didn't even attend Westside last year. So they're newer to the church. And so it was really awesome to watch them grow in a leadership role, which is what they did. And they just ran with it and it went so well.
Awesome.
I did drive around and checked out a bunch of the projects throughout that day, if they needed anything, whatever. And there was a couple of the people that we were helping that were like, thank you so much. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. And it was just amazing watching the connection and how well they were learning their role. Like just hands-on is the best way to do it. And they just went with it and they succeeded hugely.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Why is investing in others while serving just as important as the project itself, do you think?
Having that connection with the community is so important. Getting to know them and sharing the word and just being there, being just a listening ear. Sometimes that's all they need.
Yeah.
When I was out shopping for GMP, getting certain things, I went to Lowe's and Dollar Tree and a few other places. And every time, and I always had my shirt on, every time I had my GMP shirt on, I go buy these things and I'm like, oh, what is Good Neighbor Project? And we get in this conversation. I handed out a Westside Community Church business card with all of the times. I told them about the new Saturdays coming. And I told them, I said, hey, if you're a little nervous, because some of them were, I said, check it out online. See what you think. And I said, if you are interested, I said, go ahead and come in. You can, I said, set up a time. You can chat with, and I said, everybody's going to welcome you. And I was just, it's different with your home church. And Westside's my home. I've been here for lots of years. And just that connection we get with the community and, them being like, oh, next year I want to volunteer. I'd love to be able to participate in your program and all these things. And, there's times when you're walking around and you're visiting with people and all this stuff. And if you feel that you need to put yourself out there because God's telling you to do something, don't ever disregard that because that's him talking to you.
Dude, you just stole my last question. That's awesome. Okay, one more question before that. We'll pop back to this. But okay. As you were sharing that, it made me think we should highlight connection with partners. we partner, when we do Good Neighbor Project, we partner with other churches, we partner with other community organizations. What does that look like and what's the benefit, do you think, that you see in that?
Okay, so as far as the churches go, like this year we did a little different because we had to change our dates. So it was our weekend and next weekend. And, when you're connecting with these churches, you're spreading not just in your area. This is huge.
Yeah.
We're going like county-wide and further and beyond. And these connections are amazing. And when as I'm leading this, I can share my connections and other connections I find with these churches, and they can share that as well, or take advantage of, these people donate. Can we get some as well? And we're supposed to be sharing all of the good from God. And so, you get to connect with all of these things, and when even our volunteers, they go and they can volunteer for both weekends, or like we get Worship 24/7 radio station, and they are promoting the other churches as well for the Good Neighbor Project.
Yeah.
And it's spreading wildly, and it's amazing. It is so amazing.
Yeah. I just, as you're talking, it made me think, we just got finished with the Campfire Conversations, which was a whole series at Westside that is in the book of Ephesians. And it makes me think of Ephesians 4, where it talks about the unity in the church. And it's incredible to partner with other churches in the area and all be doing like that same kind of investment in our neighborhoods, but doing it together. Just that impact is huge. So we get to build those relationships. Like you said, the networking happens between churches. We start to develop a little bit of a relationship with each one of those church partnerships, which is so fun. And for me personally, just to observe the different the different kinds of churches that we build relationships with in the Bible, and also just in conversation, we get to highlight the fact that, this church maybe has one kind of a connection with the community, whereas Westside might have one kind of a connection with the community, on and on. And the way that we get to engage with our communities as individual churches partnering together is really incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So it's 100%. So fun to be able to see that. And we partner with, like you said, the other organizations like Home Depot donates.
Home Depot, Lowe's, Local 49, Roofers Union, Clogbusters donates every year. So, and what's crazy is normally I'm able to get some of their staff to come in and volunteer for Good Neighbor Project. There's a couple of them that I've actually gotten to come to this church. And, the community just comes together, and watching this go from something in the beginning that's like, it's so small, a couple projects. But now we've got so many projects. This year alone, we just had 23, at just ours, and doesn't even count next weekend's projects. So it's getting to be big, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. So exciting. It's a huge force in the community. So totally worth it to take a Sunday off of church services. And we do it every year to go and invest in the community. Okay. So my final question for you is, if someone is out there and they're like, this is huge, this is awesome, it's great, but I don't feel like I have anything to offer, how would you encourage them? What would you say to them?
Well, any type of communication, lending a hand, just a conversation or listening ear, something so small sometimes is the biggest impact you can make on someone. And especially when you're communicating or showing faith. Yeah. Our world, there's like so much going on, and it's not all positive. Yeah. But when we as a community can come together and put a smile on someone's face, that makes everything totally worth it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that we can invest individually just on a daily basis. But also that if you've got a vision or a dream of an impact that's bigger than that, sometimes all you got to do is just say something to somebody or take a next step or an action on that. And you never know what God's going to do with it. It can literally just be noticing that your neighbor needs their lawn mowed and just having a conversation with them. It can literally be, hey, sign up for the all year round Good Neighbor Project group who does this all year round. And you can just like invest in like being the hands and feet of Jesus by jumping on a email list.
Yeah.
Check out next year's Good Neighbor Project, right? And jump in on that and see how you can invest that way too. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for everything that you do, Elizabeth. This GNP was awesome this year. Thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure that you check out this upcoming message at Westside, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Midweek Motivation. To make sure you don't miss any content in the future, please subscribe, share, and if you enjoyed this, give us a like, and consider popping by a Westside service some weekend. You can find out more at westsidecommunitychurch.com.